So welcome back to another DIY from Plain and Simple Travels. Today we're installing UHF into the F-truck. It's DIY because I couldn't get my Sparky to do it. He couldn't get some parts, so I'm going to do it myself. Can't be all that hard. So I have got a bracket on its way. Bracket fits in there. And I actually started this yesterday, so I'll give you a little recap of what we've done. So I'm mounting the base over there. That's just got to be clicked into place. And then we have the power leads. I'll show you where they come from. So I'm going to provide power from the fuse block inside. Now I've used my trusty old test light. They say there's two sockets there that you can tap into. Oh, by the way, this is called a fuse tap. So you pull the fuse out of the board and put that in its place, and that gives you an extra power line, an extra fuse power line. So fuse number 2 and 4 apparently are the most common used to run accessories off. So I've tested them both. 2 runs on accessories only, 4 is constant power, which I don't want, so it's going into point number 2 with this tap, and then I've run the power line up under the dash, zip tied it. I'm leaving that inline fuse in there, and it'll just plug into there. I found this really good app on the phone. Looks like it's startmycar.com. Gives you a real list of what the fuses are. So it's saying fuse is not used, it takes a micro fuse. Fuse 2, delayed accessory feed, that's what I'm going to use, and it's a 10 amp micro 2, which you can click on any fuse, tells you what it is, not used. Not used. Amplifier, driver door control, very useful. Yeah, it tells you what the rate out, so it's a 30 amp micro 2. We go down here, 7.5 micro 3. Anyway, that tells us that 2 is actually there. It's above the 7.5. It's a 10 amp, that's what we're going to plug into. So we think it's in properly, so I'll just test it. Let's put my little test light. Earth. And turn the accessories on. And there we go. Turn the accessories off it goes. It's exactly what we want. Now there is a right way and a wrong way to put these in apparently. So the feed for the new circuit has to be on the opposite side of the power supply coming in to that fuse, if that makes sense. So I've tested it before. The power supply is on this side, so the outgoing is on that side, so it's fused there. And it's also fused here. So I've run power through, and I've earthed back to a panel up there under the dash. So if everything is right, I should be able to put the test light in there and run it. Okay, hopefully that showed up. So we have power. So once I get the aerial, I'll finish off with that. I'll just plug the handset in. So handset's plugged in. I'll probably just put the holder there for it. Plenty of room. Plus there's a speaker in that, and there's a speaker in that as well, so volume should be good. Bugger it, I'm just going to plug it in, see if it works. I won't transmit because I know they can do damage without an aerial, but let's see what happens. So we're plugged in, let's just turn it on. Gotta hold it in, there we go. So that's on. Turn the accessories off. Radio's off. Turn the accessories on. And we're alive. Alright, just got to wait for the aerial bracket to turn up. So we've got our aerial. Picked that up on sale yesterday, Rep Curve. Only a cheapie, but that's all we need. The mount still hasn't turned up for the aerial base, so. But anyway, it doesn't stop us feeding the aerial through. So just in here, there's a big rubber grommet with the feed-in space on the top. You just got to nip the top off that and then feed the aerial cable down into the cabin and hopefully find it easily. So after several unsuccessful attempts to get through that grommet, I gave up on it. It's just too thick. It's I think it's all the wiring to the ECU, so I didn't want to get too violent with it. Besides, when I was down on the floor I couldn't see the grommet from the other side anyway, so I thought, oh, this is too hard. So I've run the cable down the back of the firewall into the chassis rail, and then under the carpet I found an unused grommet there. So I've come up through from the firewall up through the floor. So I'll just run it now behind the console to the other side. Hopefully. I can't believe how well these things are made. Just the attention to detail is amazing. No wonder it's so quiet. The amount of soundproofing is just, so you get to that grommet that comes through the firewall, you've got to take out all that soundproofing at the back. Too much like hard work for me. I like a good shortcut. Well, that's it. Still haven't got the bracket. can't see any of the wiring there. So I ran the cable for the aerial underneath the console with great difficulty. It all is in there. Can't see it standing here. Let's just power up. No key detected. That doesn't help. Now I've got the key, so we'll try and power up again. Could I have a radio check, please? Either she's not working or there's nobody on. Oh, it's not picking anything up, so maybe nobody on the radio. So I've got my little handheld. Test, 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 test. Working on that. See if it's transmitting. Test, test, test. Yep, it's transmitting as well. I have to wait till I get the bracket and then see if it's how well it's working. I've put the squelch onto 5, so it should be okay. I am right next to the house as well, so, and the bonnet up. So hopefully that's all it is. Oh, my bracket has just turned up. GMF4x4, not sponsored. No discounts, paid full retail. But I woke up in the middle of the night and I was a little bit worried about something. Well, hours of lost sleep over nothing. I woke up and I thought, if that mounting bracket there, if that ring is solid, then I'm in big trouble because I've already wired the aerial in. So I'd have to pull the aerial all the way out again and start again. But luckily, it's got a feeder slot. Guess I better read the instructions. So, following the instructions, we've got to just bolt that arm on there to the main bracket. And we've got to go to the car and start pulling bolts out. So there's a bolt in there on the top hinge. Up there that I've got to loosen off. 13mm spanner. Now I'm not taking a risk today. I've tied a long zip tie under the end of my spanner. The reason is that there's a gap there. I don't know if you can see it, but that's an open gap into the inner guard. And yesterday I dropped a torch down there. The only way to get to it is to take the inside of the mud guard off. To do that, I've got to take the wheel off, so I'm just going to make sure that I don't drop the spanner down there. Okay, so we got the bracket on there. Lucky I tied a zip tie into that spanner. I would have dropped it at least half a dozen times. So, next step. So next we've got to get access to the aerial. I've already checked the bonnet's clear of the bracket that I put in there. I'll check that. So there's a couple of clips on here I've got to undo. Now let's just lift that gutter, and then we can get access in there. Hopefully. And there's also another couple of clips in behind there. Which will let go when we pull it. Like so. Oh, and I've also just unscrewed the factory radio aerial just to give us a bit more room. Now with the 2mm Allen key, we're going to take out those 3 little screws in there, again without dropping them down inside the inner guard. We now have to trim that much off this bracket. Now the photo is to scale, so I can just mark the spots on there, draw a line and trim that off. Sounds easy. Okay, so we've cut that bit off. Right, so let's just clean that up a bit. I've just got to paint that now. So the paint's dried on the bracket where I cut it, so I put those 3 little bolts back in there to hold the aerial on. And now, next step. So next thing, I just put the mounting bracket in underneath the bracket for the aerial to hold that in place. I had to back off the tension on the first bit I fitted because the holes didn't line up exactly, so I've done that. That all lines up. So hopefully I've just got to tighten everything up. Back to the instructions. Okay, so we've got the bracket on. It's nice and tight. It's supposed to have a 2mm gap down there, which we have. So now we just tighten everything up and put it all back together. So everything tightened up. Put it all on. Nice and tight. There is a longer whip that goes on that. It just comes off and swap them over. Bloody solid mount. Okay, now I have to go and get out some open air and see if the radio actually works. Okay, so hopefully it works. Earth to Skeletor, do you copy?
Yes, I copy.
Is it loud and clear?
Yes.
Hey, you won't believe this. I just got a notification of a text from Voodoo.
How funny.
Over, he can come home now.
Thank you.
Yep. Well, there you go. What I thought was going to be an hour and a half job. Oh! 3 days later, finished. Anyway, thanks for watching. Say bye, Vic.
Bye.
Bye.